Hello folks, how are you guys? My name's Dan Davidson and I'm here to guide you guys through some life challenges and um, I am a energy light worker, energy healer, entrepreneur, person in long-term recovery, experiencing overcoming mental illness and addiction for most of my life. I had a total of 14 years of sobriety, just not all put together. But I still know that I've learned a lot and I've overcome a lot from divorce, being widowed, divorce, losing a child, fighting addiction. Just dealing with life on life's terms sometimes has been a struggle, and I've overcome a lot of things, and I know I've had experience as a peer support, and I know that I'm have a lot of wisdom and developed a lot of tools that I know can. I don't want to say the word help because I feel like when I say the word help, it puts me on a different level than somebody, and I don't think any of us are any better or any worse than anybody else. I really believe that we're all doing the best that we really can. For the information that we have, the things that we've been taught, we're just doing the best that we can. Not saying we don't have the capability of doing better, but until we come ready and become observant to that we need to do something better, as long as we're in denial to that we have something we need to work on, we really don't have the chance to work on it because we don't need to work on anything, right? I really believe that having the awareness of a situation that we need to work on is like 95% of the solution, because now that we have the awareness, we can work on it. But before we have the awareness, we won't even have any idea that we need to work on it. So I don't know if that made any sense, but it does to me. So I'm sure some of you can relate. I really believe that if you have found me, if you don't know me and you have found me, and the universe has put you in my path, or me in your path, however you want to look at it, so that I can assist you in some knowledge and wisdom and tools that I have to be that support that you may need. I believe that my soul contract is that everything I've been through is what I went through so that I could be here today doing what I'm doing. I really believe that, I found my meaning, my purpose. I have found that my operating system, if you will, has been corrupted and filled with viruses, and I like to think of it as a computer. I'm not really computer illiterate, but I understand there's the hardware and software, and my subconscious is kind of like this hardware of a hard drive, and it's been downloaded with a lot of information that didn't serve me, right? And perhaps you have the same experience from our parents, from our grandparents, from society, social norms, the media. We've been given a lot of information that is not, and it's not, it's taken us a long time to get where we are, years, decades, centuries. Some of it is just in our DNA because of our ancestors having the same beliefs, and a lot of the information that I have that we're sharing is not information that I've made up. It's the information that I have found, and I will be sharing links to different books, different audiobooks, different lectures, different podcasts, different things that will back up things that I'm saying and maybe help enlighten what I'm saying, because I can't really sometimes relate exactly what I hear, or how, I don't know. It's just sometimes it's better for you to hear from the horse's mouth, right? So, anyhow, bear with me as we go through this, because I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and and I had to, stop telling myself a story that I'm not good enough, I can't do it, and nobody's gonna want to listen to me, and get on this roller coaster ride. And what is key, because in the last, few months, I have honestly became the key holder of my thoughts and my emotions. Um, Before I started doing this work, I was completely led by my emotions, and I had no idea that my thoughts and emotions are what we put out to the universe and what we get more of. We are the creator and the co-creator of what we manifest in our lives. And where intention goes, and energy flows. So the more that we focus on something we don't want, that's what we get more of. And we'll get more into that as we go. But this is stuff that I learned just in the recent time in my life. And some of it was like, why didn't I learn this shit 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago? Where would I be today if I learned this? But the fact is that maybe it did come my way, but I just wasn't ready, right? So, I can look at things that have happened in the past, and it may have been an opportunity then for me to learn something, but I wasn't ready, right? And so when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. And perhaps you'll find that that's what's happening here. That you became ready, and here I am. I am a teacher, but yet again I'm a student. So I'm learning and I'm also teaching. And I'm hoping that, this ripple effect is that then there'll be somebody who comes along in your path and you'll be able to share the same experience that you are going through now. That they'll be parallel going through later on, as they come to your path. I believe that's how it works. We're all here to help each other, and not. We've been, degrading each other, judging each other, and for one time, the society's norms was, the Davies versus the Jones. He who has the most toys wins. The golden rule. He who has the most gold makes the rule. And I remember being part of that belief because I believe I grew up in the era where the American dream was have an education, have a career, have a marriage, have a garage full of toys, and that's supposed to equal happiness. Well, if you haven't learned and you haven't seen and you haven't discovered that doesn't equal happiness. A lot of times it just happens. It just equals more misery, And one thing that I've learned is that misery is a choice. I didn't know that was a fact. I didn't know that I was manifesting more misery. So we'll get more into that as we go. I'm just kind of trying to do an introduction here today, and let you guys get a little bit to know me and trying to do some things that I'm gonna try to touch more on. I'm gonna be doing some book studies on some books that I have found that have really helped me. Like I said, I'm doing some introduction to some other people. I also do energy work, so I can two modalities that I have that I'm a practitioner in. I can do long distance, and it's very effective, just as if you were here in physical form with me. The principle behind it is that the more that you're open, the more it will do, because you're going to be doing the work. I'm just holding space, and I'm basically just a container, a vessel, if you will. But I will send the energy your way, but you'll be doing the work. And the more resistant you are, the less it will work. The more open you are, the more it will work. And some of the feedback that I've gotten, I have some testimonies. I just have to figure out how to get them from one platform to another. But some of the testimonies that I have of people obviously feel lighter. Some people are more energetic, sleep better, back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain's gone away. Creativity has came more in line and more active, in their creativity mind. We'll work on clearing chakras, clearing meridians. You also can do anything that you specific area that you want to work on. Like we can send energy in that area. Most of the time, the person doesn't really sure, and I'll just send the energy for your highest good. So yeah. If I'm gonna do a subscription because some of the stuff I do, I'm going, or I'm trying to, assist people at the same time. I'm trying to make some energy. Money is energy, and we all gotta eat, right? And so I'm going to make some subscriptions. For those that want to subscribe, will get some more tools. I have some guided meditations. I have some more information, some more tools, and I also do spiritual life coaching. If you'd like to do a program, do 30-day, 60-day, or 90-day program. Will be assignments for you to do that. It's all up to you whether you do it or not. I'm not going to force you. If you want to do the work, you're going to try to encourage you, of course. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I am a life coach, and I'm a spiritual person. So I like to do spiritual life coaching. We'll be working on awareness, mindfulness. I'll put a list of things in the description below of different aspects that we'll be working on, and then the whole key here is to reprogram our operating system, because we've been falsely programmed with false information. So we'll work on our reprogramming. We'll work on goal setting. I'll put a list of that on the description below as well, so you guys can get more detail on what we're going to be working on. I'll put it in the description. I'm really excited about doing this. It's been an adventure for me to get here, but I'm ready to do this. I've got a couple other platforms that I'm working with right now too, with some programs. So give you access to that as a subscriber. Otherwise, there'll be some free stuff here that people can get a touch in what we're doing. But if you want to do life coaching or some energy work, I'm willing to. I'm not like concrete on my practice right now because I am just starting out, but I am looking to get some testimonies, so we can do some trading for that. And I'm at this point flexible. I'm really excited about meeting you guys. I'm also gonna create a community on social media so that my community can have some support. I think we can never have enough support. I have a lot of support in my life. I think having somebody to keep us accountable for things that we're working on is important. For me, it's a must, because my mind is like the most dangerous place for me to go by myself. I will convince myself of something that's really not really healthy, and then I'll co-sign it. So a lot of times for me, I don't need somebody to give me the answer. I just need to say what I was gonna talk about, what I had in my head. And a lot of times I'll get the answer like, well, I'll hear what I just said, and I'm like, that's not really a good idea, So that's my hopes here, is I will be that person to ask questions, listen. Most on top of listen, just listen, ask questions, reflect, maybe get some perspective and some tools as needed. And I really believe change the perception, changing attitude, equals gratitude, right? And then for me, when I'm in a place of gratitude, it's hard for me to be anywhere else. You know, there's some scientific fact that I've been working with. So they talk about neuron pathways, right? So we have these neuron pathways that basically are like the way we act, way we react. Like, I don't know about you guys, but you know, they have this concept of thinking before you react, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I'm that person. When the doctor hits your elbow or knee and you reflect, that was my go-to for a lot of years. And I always longed for the idea of being able to think before I reacted, because I have said and done things to people that I love and care about that are, you can't take words back, right? Sometimes they say physical pain is better, the physical abuse is better than the emotional abuse, because black eye will not suggest anybody use violence on anybody by no means. So don't take it like that. But I have said to people that I love that were hurting me, please just hit me with a bat, because I can't deal with emotional pain because I'm emotionally immature. But I've grown past that, and I am more emotionally grown up, and I'm hoping that we can all become more emotionally grown up and become, loving and caring for each other. Because I love all of you, even if I don't know you, I love you, because that's what life is about, is love, right? We don't need no more hate. I'm not going to judge you, and I'm not going to co-sign any negative behavior, and I'm not going to have any healthy boundaries with you, but I will support you, and I will be there for you. I've had people, I've experienced individuals looking at me for answers, right? And I'm not that guy. I'm not going to give you answers. I'm not going to give you advice. I will share my experience. I will share my strength and my hope. I will ask you questions to help dig for your truth, for your answer. I've learned to be good at asking questions that when you answer it, you will find what you need to hear. Right? I think if you need advice, you should pay a lawyer, because that's what they get paid for, is advice, right? So, like I said, I'm here to assist you. I'm not here to help you. And so yeah, let's get started, right? Okay, so first thing first, I want you guys to start practicing mindfulness, being aware of your negative thoughts, your negative talk, and maybe watch and see how, when you get into a negative thought and you feed into it, watch how that negative emotion comes out, right? So like I noticed a few months ago, I was having a text conversation with somebody that I really care about, and this person's in active addiction, and 10 minutes into a text message, I got these freaking back pain, right? And so I had a couple of friends try to pop it, and they wouldn't pop, and I went to bed early, and I woke up the next morning, and I remember my one of my teachers, my spiritual teachers, told me how our organs store physical pain, emotional pain, and cause physical pain, like kidneys, livers. And I felt this back pain in my kidney. And I knew it was my kidneys. Like I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital, and then I thought, you know what? I know what it is. It's just some emotional pain that I'm carrying. So I went and I did some Reiki on myself and some other energy healing, and I did some meditation, and I cleared that energy, right? And then I don't know if it was the next night or the night after. I must have had some dreams about something related to this, because I woke up with that pain really resonated. But I did the same work and it disappeared, and this was like 4 months ago, and it has not come back. So I just want you to be aware of the negative thoughts, right? And don't beat yourself up when you react or you say something that you're gonna regret or you did regret. But when you're aware of it sooner than you would have before, that's being mindful, right? And so the more that we practice that, we're actually creating new neuron pathways in our brain. It's just scientific proof, and I'll send you some information more about that later. But scientific proof that the more that we react to a new situation, we react differently. We're creating a neural pathway, right? And so look at it as like maybe filled with a bike trail, right? And pretty soon somebody keeps come riding down that road in a truck. Right? Pretty soon that bike trail will come into a 2-track road. Right? And the more people drive on it, it becomes looking like a road. Well, that's how this neuron pathway works, right? It'll get small and it'll get wider and wider and bigger, and pretty soon the new reaction to how we react will be the new neuron pathway. You know, the old belief, the old neuron pathway will still be there, but it won't be our go-to, right? Our go-to will be this new pattern, new practice that we have. So it takes time. Like, we didn't get where we are overnight. Like, and some of it it's in our DNA. Like, our ancestors did this shit, you know, right? They had this negative talk and this negative belief and all of the falsy information that we've been programmed with. So what we're going to do is work on reprogramming ourselves and, you know, find a new way to react and a new way to look at situations, you know. And so that's what we're gonna begin with that. So if you guys will just take time throughout the day, just be mindful and be aware of your thoughts, and when you find yourself in a negative thought, I'm a visualist. What I did at the beginning was I visualized. Well, you don't want to not validate the thought, because it's a real thought, right? So what I did is I validated the thought, and I said, you know what, this does no longer serve me. It's not to my best interest. It's not for my highest good. And I just imagined crimpling it up and throwing it in the garbage can. And then a little bit later, I started visualizing the computer screen, and I actually physically feel like I was holding a mouse, and I would highlight that thought, and then I'd click left and delete it, because it's no longer serving me. It's not to my highest good. And start telling myself something positive, right? Instead of telling myself, you know what, you can't do that. You know, because our subconscious is our hard drive, right? And it's programmed to believe that we're supposed to operate a certain way. So let's say, for example, you know, you decide you're going to start going to the gym, right? You might go a couple times, and then the next day your body's saying, like, what are you doing? Like, this ain't normal behavior. We don't do this. We don't go to the gym. We don't put our body in stress like this. We don't work out. And they'll be trying to talk you out of it, right? And so we got to start reprogramming that hard drive, that subconscious. Like saying, hey, you know what? This is what we do now. We're going to do this. And the more that you're persistent, and the more that you go, pretty soon that little, if we don't do this, we'll go along with what you're going to do. But it takes practice, and it takes time, right? We didn't get where we're at overnight. Like I said, it took us a long time to get this. So any new behavior, any new pattern that we're rebuilding or we're creating, right? I used to think I needed to rewrite my story, but now I just believe I gotta create a new story. So that's what I'm gonna assist you in, is creating a new story about yourself. So anyhow, I'm gonna try to make these videos 30 minutes each. We're at 23 now, so we're gonna wrap it up. I just want to thank you all for coming, and if you like this video, like and share it, and leave a comment below. I'm always open for any topics that you guys want to talk about, any struggles that you're having. I'm going to leave my email below. Like I said before, I'm going to leave some categories that if you wanted some spiritual life coaching, some categories that we'll be working on, some results that we'll be looking for. Of course, most importantly, is for you to find meaning and purpose in your life, and to find happiness, right? Because most of us are lacking that in our life, right? We're at a time when frequency is low, and there's a big shift going on, and so my goal is to assist you in raising your frequency and finding happiness in your life, right? I have found that, and when I'm in a place of heart coherence, gratitude, I'm no longer depressed, I'm no longer sad, I'm no longer hateful, are no longer resentful, and we're gonna work through some, resentments. We're gonna work through some fear. We're gonna work through some jealousy. We're gonna work through negative self-talk. We're gonna work through setting goals. We're gonna work through being mindful, creating a routine, being creative. It's gonna be a fun journey. So, some of the stuff, like I said, is gonna be free. If you want more detail and you want to subscribe to the channel with more information, if you want any if you're interested in hiring me as your life coach, we have that. If you want to hire me to do some energy work for you, we can do some clearing. We'll do some meditations on here, and we'll we're gonna put that together, that community, and have support for one another, because like I said, we can never have too much support. So thank you guys all for coming and checking out my channel, and like I said, if you like it, and remember one thing, you are awesome.